Hare Krishna, as you like. Radhastakam or any. Namo Vishnu Padaya.
Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatari Shatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prishtaya Bhutale Shri Shri Madha Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Iti Namine Namah Bhakti Pragyan Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Namah Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nitya Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Gurudeva
ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालयै कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातरया जुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तर्वोऽभिनेदु तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे तं नमामि चरणं भक्त्या विहीनाय अपराधलक्ष्यै क्षिप्तास्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयीं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नुमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। First of all, my heart-touching obeisances in the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnupad, Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. And same in the lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru, Om Vishnupad, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. I want to remind you that what is bhakti. And you should judge by your heart that whether you are heartily following the principles of bhakti or not. So, you know, in Srimad Bhagavat, definition of bhakti has been given. In other, also in his scriptures, it has been given. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu associate Srila Rupa Goswami has given the definition of bhakti, which contains all the previous definitions, and that is Anna Bhilasita Shunyam Gyan Karmadhyanabritam Anukullena Krishnanushilanam Bhakti Uttama. I have told so many times, but still I am today reminding you what is bhakti. Aranya Maharaj should explain in brief.
Umagarathimarandhasa Gyanandanasalakaya Chakshurunvalitam jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So Srila Gurudev ordered me to speak briefly about the unprecedented definition of bhakti that was written down by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu under the direct inspiration of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and written down by Rupa Goswami Pad. Anyabilasita shunyam jnana kamadyanavritam anukulyena krishna anushayam bhaktir uttama. The unbroken, uninterrupted cultivation of all endeavors of one's body, mind, and words, and also of sentiments of the heart, which are meant exclusively for the benefit of Shri Krishna, which are completely devoid of the slightest trace of any other desire, and which are not covered by karma, the tendency to perform reward-seeking activity, gyan, the cultivation of knowledge for the purpose of attaining liberation, and yoga, the cultivation of mystic power, dry renunciation, etc. Such a constant, unbroken cultivation of all endeavors of the body, mind and words is called Uttama Bhakti.
Yes, yes. Some explanation.
Hare Krishna, there is a speaker in the Prasadam hall for all the children who want to compete with the lecture.
What?
So Srila Gurudev ordered me to give little explanation. So far we've explained the translation only. Now a brief explanation. The verse can be divided into two parts. Anyabilashta shunyam jnanakamaddenavritam. And then the second part, Krishna anukulyena Krishna anushilam bhaktir uttama. The first part defines the tatastha lakshan of bhakti. That means the extrinsic characteristics of devotion. It explains what devotion isn't. Whereas the second part defines the Swarup Lakshan, the intrinsic characteristics of devotion. That defines what devotion actually is. So first we'll look at that. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. The entire verse revolves around the word Shilanam. Shil Dhatu means a cultivation. So bhakti is not something static. It is not like gyan, knowledge, but it's kriyatmik, it's an activity. And so the Shil Dhatu, this verb, refers to Cheshtarup, the endeavors that one performs, and also Bhavarup, or the concomitant emotions which accompany those endeavors. So when we examine the Cheshtarup aspect of Shilanam, we find that it has two parts. That is called the Nivriti Atma Chestarupa and Pravriti Atmaka Chestarupa. Nivriti Atmaka Chestarupa means that in bhakti we'll have to be very careful and make a conscious, energetic endeavor to avoid those things which are not favorable for devotion, such as Atyahara Priyasas Cha Prajalpo Niyamagraha Janasangas Chalolyam Cha Sadvi Bhakti Vinashati. Overeating, over-endeavoring, speaking mundane things, being greedy for worldly achievements, and association of materialistic persons. Also, we have to be very careful to avoid things such as nam aparad, being inattentive at the time of chanting, and 10 other types of nam aparad, including Vaishnava aparad, making offenses to other devotees, and guru avagya, neglecting or disrespecting the spiritual master. All of these things, because actually the three modes of material nature, by force they engage us in these things, and therefore we have to make concerted, energetic effort to avoid them. So that is called Nivriti Atmaka Chestarupa, the endeavor to give up those things which will be detrimental for our devotion. Then Pravriti Atmaka Chestarupa means to accept everything which is favorable. So that means Utsahan Nistya Daryat Tata Karma Pravatanat Sangachagat Shatovrite Sadvi Bhakti Prasiddhyati. To always be enthusiastic, to be have confidence, faith in the words of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and to have patience if it takes some time and the result is not coming at once, to not lose our enthusiasm and confidence, even though some time is elapsing. This is called patience, etc. So these are the qualities whereby bhakti becomes successful. These will have to be accepted. So these two aspects are part of Cheshtarup called Sadhanrup, and then the other aspect of Cheshtarup or endeavor is called Karyarup, When one's sadhan has become advanced up to the stage of bhav, then all the activities such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, they're undertaken not as Indriya Vyapar or Indriya Prerana, activities instigated from the level of the senses, but rather hearing, chanting and remembering is taken up as a reaction to one's internal transcendental feelings, one's spontaneous love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Radha Krishna. So this is called the Karya Rup. Then if we go to the Bhava Rup aspect of the word Shilanam, there are two parts. One is called Sthayi Bhav Rup and one is called Sanchari Bhav Rup. The Sthayi Bhav Rup refers to the emotions that one feels, which are the foundational ecstatic mood of love for Shri Krishna. It's of 5 types: Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. Neutral, passive adoration, and superior to that, the mood of a servant. Superior to that, the mood of a friend. Superior to that, the mood of a parent. And the supermost emotion, the mood of a beloved of Shri Krishna. So this is called the Sthayi Bhav Rup. Within the ocean of the Sthayi Bhav, one's foundational ecstasy, some transitory assisting emotions like waves will rise and fall. That is called Sanchari Bhav Rup. There are 33 types of Sanchari Bhavs. So all revolving around the word Shilanam is the entire explanation of bhakti for those in the stage of sadhan, in the stage of bhav, and also in the stage of prem. So Rupa Goswami Pad has written Krishna Anu Shilanam, that this cultivation of endeavors should be not Shilanam, only a cultivation of endeavor, but rather Anu Shilanam. The word Anu indicates continuous, unbroken. So we can see to what degree we have progressed in pure bhakti by how much our absorption in devotional service is interrupted by things other than devotional service. And when our practices are uninterrupted, then it can be called Anu Shilanam. The word Anu, apart from indicating Nirantar Jamai, continuousness, also indicates Anugatya, that bhakti is an activity which is performed under the guidance of one's superiors. Whether it's in this world, the conditioned souls in this world must take up devotional service, not independently, but under the guidance of a liberated spiritual master. If they're not under the guidance of a liberated spiritual master, their activities, though they may be performing hearing and chanting, remembering, they cannot be called Uttama Bhakti. They cannot fit into the definition given by Rupa Goswami Pad. So in this world, and also out of this world, in the eternal spiritual world, there we see that all the Rati Manjari is under the guidance of Rupa Manjari, is under the guidance of Lalita Sakhi, is under the guidance of Radhika, and all are serving Krishna. And therefore, the principle of Anugatya, or being under guidance, is universal and all-pervading in the spiritual world, and it extends down to this world, so we'd better get used to it here. Then, Anukulyena Krishna Anu Shilanam. The word Anu, Krishna Anu, also indicates that devotional service is in connection with Krishna. So it may be directly for Krishna or for a person who is related to Krishna. So because the conditioned soul in this world, it has not realized his relationship with Krishna, his devotional activities only become devotional when he performs them for the pleasure of a devotee who actually is established in a relationship with Krishna. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur said, Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadhama. That the repository of devotional service, there is an exclusive repository of devotional service. It is not available anywhere else. It is only available at the lotus feet of one's divine holy teacher, the spiritual master, Sri Guru. So we come to the word Anukulyena. Anukulyena is sometimes taken to mean for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. But actually we find that this conception is a mistranslation, is not complete. Why? Because in the pastimes of Krishna, we see that Mother Yashoda, sometimes she binds him with a rope, sometimes she may just twist his ear, and she may inflict some discipline upon him, which at that time, for Krishna, is something that he doesn't want. It's not something that's very pleasing to him. Krishna may weep and cry and have a tantrum or do some more mischief in order to avenge the discipline inflicted upon him by his mother. So we see that the question comes, is the discipline inflicted by Mother Yashoda, is it bhakti or not? It must be, even though it's not immediately pleasing to Krishna. So the word anukulyena means pratikul bhav rohita. Devotional service is devoid of any antagonistic mood towards Krishna. On the other hand, we see that Chanura and Mustika, the wrestlers of Kamsa, they were fighting with Krishna, they were trying to kill him, and Krishna was really relishing that fight. It gave great pleasure to him. Yet the activities of Chanura and Mustika, the wrestlers, though it gave pleasure to Krishna, it can't be called bhakti because it was not anukulyena, meaning pratikul bhav rohita. It was not devoid of antagonism, but rather it was completely infused with antagonism. They wanted to kill Krishna. So if we take the word anukulyena to mean for the pleasure of Krishna, then there would have been a defect in the definition of Rupa Goswami. One defect, that defect would have been avyapti dosh. In other words, the definition is too narrow and excludes things which are included in bhakti, such as the services of Madhya Yashoda, or it would have been be guilty of ativyapti dosh, the definition being too broad and including things which are not actually devotion, such as the beatings of the powerful wrestlers Chanura and Mustika. So when bhakti is performed by body, mind and words and feelings of the heart, devoid of any antagonistic mood, continuously under guidance, for the benefit, ultimate benefit and welfare of Krishna, this is called bhakti uttama. The word uttama means that this bhakti is uttama, above darkness. It's above the material world of the prakriti, the modes of material nature. So the word uttama bhakti indicates that there must be things, there must be a type of bhakti which is not uttama. So that is when bhakti is not uttama, that means the devotional activities are mixed with the modes of material nature. So that is called Arop Siddha Bhakti, Sangha Siddha Bhakti, and that's
Thank
what...
you. No need.
So, in this way, on Gurudev's order, we conclude this brief discussion of the nature of Uttama Bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Very good. You heard about this. Now you can judge yourself. Truly, you are following this bhakti or not. You know, Dhruva, he did bhakti. He meditated Narayan, Vaibhav Prakash of Krishna. And he took darshan even. But his bhakti is not pure. Because he has some anyabhilash. And he has some worldly desire also. Some attachment to her mother, his mother. So not pure bhakti. In regard, we see Prahlad Maharaj. His bhakti is pure. Bhisham Pitama, pure bhakti. Sanak Sanandan Sanatan in first stage, pure bhakti. But not Uttama bhakti. No? Not. Prahlad Maharaj is Bhagavat, Uttam Bhagavat. For Vaidhi Bhakti, we take him. We must follow him. But for Raganuga, giving regard him, Prahlad, Bhisham Pitama, four Kumars, even Sukdev Goswami in his first career. We will give respect to them. But keeping them aside, you should go forward. Then Uttama Bhakti will be. Otherwise not. One thing also, Anukulyena, he told so many explanations. Anu Nairantarjimai, Anu Anugatyamai. What is the meaning of Anugatya? Can you say? What is that?
Anugacha means to be completely under the guidance of the spiritual master or one's guide. Also related to Sharanagati, that one has completely surrendered, one has passed the stage of Nishta and is entering into the stage of Ruchi, taste for chanting. So this would indicate that one is come
Has
under
any
Anugacha.
disciple right to correct his Gurudev words? Understand?
To correct his words.
Correct his explanation, correct his words, correct his writings, correct anything? Has he right or not?
I think it would depend on the circumstances.
Huh?
I think it would depend upon the circumstances.
No, never. In any case, anukullena. If anything that you are not understanding, you can ask him.
Clarify.
In what line? Oh, if I am qualified, then you may tell. Not more than that. Any disciple, if he thinks that I am more superior, I can think more, I know better than my Gurudev, then he is demon. Really he is demon. Before accepting Guru, he can think that whether he is qualified or not, first, at that time. And if he has accepted, then he should obey. He has no right to change anything of a Guru words. Then where is Anukullena? You know, Vyasdev was Narayan, Shaktavesh avatar. No? And Guru was who? Narad Rishi. He totally followed. Why I am sad he did not knew. Oh Gurudev, you know why I am sad. Narad Rishi did not wrote so many scriptures and other things. Vyasdev, whereas divided 4 Vedas, made Brahma Sutra, Mahabharata, and so many things more than Narad. Narad has done only Narad Pancharatra. But what his Gurudev told, it was all right, not to change. He had no authority to do it. So we should try to follow Gurudev in this line. If any doubt comes, you can go directly and begging, very politely you should ask, and he will remove your all doubts. Always be careful, otherwise this is namaparad. Second, Guru Avagya. Always. We sometimes misguide it. But our Shastra tells all these things clearly. What is written? Anna bhilasita sunnam gyan karmadhyannavritam anukullena krishnanushilanam bhakti. Oh, it should be applied also on Guru. On Guru. It has been told Krishna and his Krishna and his manifestations. Also Gurudev. It should be applied. So, we should try to understand all these meanings and follow. I have come only to remind you all. Don't be weak. And try to follow all these things, and we should begin from beginning. Adau Saddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. I told you. I thought in Malaysia, I told her, what subject should I deal here? Then I myself decided that in Jagannath Puri, we have explained somewhat about Raya Ramanand Sambad. In Raya Ramanand Sambad, nothing is left. From very beginning, you cannot think. Very beginning. From Varnashram Dharma and what? Up to Radha mood, Manjari mood, what I told in morning. Everything is discussed there. And how to have the process also. So, I thought that in brief, we will discuss here how many? 4 days or 5 days?
5 nights.
4. 4 more days. I will try that we should discuss briefly on this subject. So you should also be prepared. So, Mahaprabhu went to south. There were so many purposes. Outwardly purpose was to know about whereabout of his brother. Vishwarup Prabhu. What became? And he went there, discovered that he has left his body, this world. He met with Raya Ramananda, and everywhere in South, he made all Vaishnava by preaching. Told them, be Guru and preach what I told you. You should tell Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. And tell him, to preach that. But one condition, and condition was, don't take meat, eggs, wine, all these things. And you should chant and be Guru. Someone questioned, then Guru Abhiman will come? Oh, it will not come. You should be sincere. So we should try to follow. He went to various temples. He went to Shetmanda Rameshram, Kanya Kumari. Kanya Kumari means Durga. Shetmanda Rameshwaram, Tanjore, here and the same Shiv temple everywhere. But everywhere he was dancing. Dancing. And all were dancing with him. And he was singing also. Why? Why he was singing and dancing? In Tanjore, Shiv temple, 1008 Shiva Vigraha. Very biggest temple. Even more higher than Puri temple. And there is a biggest stone, more than 1,000 tons perhaps. And how they kept there, no one knows. And he went there and began to dance and chant. Why? Anywhere he used to go, he did not saw their form or anything. What he saw? Everywhere Krishna is Spurti. What is written? थौर जंगम देखे नाखे देखे तार मूर्ति सर्वस्व स्फुरे तार इष्ट देवर सर्वत्र हाउ ही सॉ शिव Mahadev and Mahadev always serving Krishna like Atma Bhav, Hari Har Ek Atma. Like Gopishwar Mahadev, and he began to meditate on Krishna. Thus, a Uttamadhikari sees grosses, but not grosses. What? Who made it? Who made it? And at once goes to Krishna. So everything reminds him, Krishna, Krishna. And if more Uttamadhikari, then he will think that, oh, all reminding Radhika. He will see Krishna and what? Remember, she is controlled by Radhika. Her love and affection is so high. So, Uttamadhikari sees that. So, everywhere he went, preached Hari name. And all were inspired by them. They became Vaishnava. Thus, he came to Ramananda place, Godavari. Now, what place? Vijayawada, Rajmundry, Kabur, where Ramanand used to be, Kabur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting. He had taken bath and he was meditating something. How beautiful was he? Was himself so beautiful. Taking the beauty, intrinsic beauty of Radhika. So how beautiful we are. And what meditating? For which he had descended. And saffron cloths, matches. Why took saffron cloth? Anurag collar. And then, in the meantime, king with drum, with thousands of pandit reciting Veda Shlok, Sri Sukta, Purushokta, and all other shuks. And then he took bath also. And then from distance he saw, who is that sannyasi? Thinking, he stopped all the Brahmins there, you should wait here. And his palanquin, he stopped there. Alone, with only dhoti, only one, and up covering. In a simple way, without shoes and palatial dresses, he came. And he went to Mahaprabhu and thinking like this. Mahaprabhu opened his eyes and saw. The two eyes became four. And that Mahaprabhu asked, are you Ramananda? And then what? Oh, I am Sudra. I am Sam Sudra. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at once embraced him. And he wanted to fall on the feet of Mahaprabhu. All the Brahmins from distance, they were watching. What doing they? This sannyasi is Brahmin. Because without Brahman being by birth birth. Anyone cannot take sannyas. But our Goswamis has opened the door for all. Otherwise, he should take birth in India and also in very high class of Brahmin family. Then he will. So he must be Brahmin and he is sannyasi even. Why he is touching this Shudra? Ramananda Shudra. Huh? शूद्र राजभावते आछे शूद्री उधर कास्त के शूद्री बोलतो ही वॉज इन कास्ट फैमिली कास्ट इज कॉल्ड शूद्र बिकॉज देर आर सो मेनी रीजन्स anyhow he told himself that I am Shudra and all they thought that he is Shudra. So, they were thinking, why this sannyasi, being a Brahmin sannyasi, and what? Light coming from his body, so high class. And why he touching this Shudra Ramananda? And Ramananda is very learned person, very grave. He is like a king. Representative, Governor General of Prataparudra, and very learned, a squire. Why he is now dancing and weeping and trembling? Ashtasattik vikar. They could not understand. That's why it is. But actually, Ramananda is not Shudra. Who is Shudra? Lamenting for mortal things. They are Shudra. If a sannyasi lamenting for his mother, father, for position, for anything, mortal things, then sannyasi is not really a sannyasi, he is Shudra. And even a Shudra, like Vidur, Shudrani Mata, Narad in his first birth, he was from Shudrani Mata, mother. But if he will think that they were Shudra, then it is Namaparad, Vaishnava Parad. We should not think like this. So Ramananda was guru of sannyasi even, more than sannyasi. Mahaprabhu respected him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that, oh, I was in Jagannath Puri and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very kind to me. He told me that if you are going to south, you must meet Rai Ramanand. He is the last Sima, limit of Prem Bhakti. At first I could not understand, but by the association of Mahaprabhu, he recognized who is Rai Ramanand. Now he is appreciating and told that you must go there and see. So, I have come to you. And I want to hear something from you. Raman told, oh, in a form of sannyasi, really you are not sannyasi. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very kind to me, and perhaps that is why he has sent you to me. I want that you should stay here for some more days and try to correct me or inform me. So thus, at that day, up to this, Mahaprabhu told that in evening I will wait for you. you must come. And thus Mahaprabhu went to a Brahmin who invited him to take Mahaprasadam, and Mahaprabhu went there, took Prasadam, and evening he was waiting. Gaur Premanand. One Kirtan, Krishnadas. I want that you should all present here at 5. Then 2 hours we can discuss all these things. And you should make program for morning classes, everything. Very good.
হরে কৃষ্ণ। এ ঘোর সংসারে পড়িয়া মানব
না এমন গড় যাতে সবগুলি ধরে কাজ সহজ কীর্তন।
গোরা পহনা ভজিয়া মইন গোরা
sannyasi can meet me to discuss something. You sannyasis all. You.
প্রেম রতন ধন হেলায় হারাইন প্রেম গোরা পহ না গোরা পহ অধনে যতন করি ধ্যান ত্যাগিন অধনে যা গোরা পহনা ভজিয়া মইন গোরা সতত খাইন